Hey guys, Kale here. I'm a pastor and a missionary, and I've been using eSword to study the Bible for the better part of 15 years now. I've made a lot of different eSword tutorials for the free PC software and also for the rather new, in the last year or two, Android app. You can find them here on my YouTube channel. Today I've got a new eSword tutorial for you, one that might only be for a specific group of eSword users, and it's for those who, like myself, may be desiring to study the Bible in two languages. Now, I'm not talking about just using the Strong's Concordance and looking at Greek and Hebrew words that were translated. I'm talking about like you're a Spanish speaker and you want to be able to study the Bible in English and Spanish together in eSword. Or in my case, I'm a missionary in Hungary and I need to study the Bible in Hungarian and compare it to the English. So today I'm going to attempt to teach you the way that I do that when I'm preaching a sermon in Hungarian and when I'm preparing a sermon in Hungarian. How do I study in eSword to be able to do that? Now, I do want to give a quick disclaimer before we get into it that I don't believe the eSword was designed to do this. I mean, eSword is a wonderful tool that allows us to study the Bible in many, many different languages. But when you start venturing into foreign language Bibles, which are available on eSword, and I'll show you how to download them, sometimes the different search features and whatnot, they get a little wonky. And so I just want you to remember that if you're going to try to do what I'm doing, just remember, it wasn't made for, eSword was made for English. And there are foreign language Bibles in it, and so sometimes things they don't act the exact same way in the foreign language Bible as they would in your English Bible. So just keep that in mind and bear with me on that as we're doing these things, because once again, I'm no expert on eSword. I'm just a guy who uses it, and I've used it for a long time. And now in the last couple of years since I've become a missionary, I'm finding myself using it in a different way, and I've found a way that works for me to do what I need to do, and I might find easier ways in the future as I get better and better at it. So for now, I just want to show you how I've found to be able to do this, to study the Bible in two languages in eSword, and give you some tips and tricks that might help you in your study of the Bible. Okay, so I've got eSword open on my PC. Again, this is PC version and not the Mac version. So if things look a little different, that's the reason why. If you were looking your Android or Apple app on your phone or device, that's going to look a little different as well. So I've got Matthew chapter 22 opened up because in our church in Hungary, the last couple of weeks I was preaching on love, and specifically in Matthew 22 with the golden rule, which, as you guys know, well, let's just look at it really quick. Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind. Verse 38, this is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Now, when I am studying the Bible and I'm preaching in Hungarian or I'm preaching in English with it being translated into Hungarian, I'm not only studying in English, I'm studying it in Hungarian too. Full disclaimer, I'm not completely fluent in Hungarian yet. I've been studying it for several years now. I can read it and understand it, and so I can study the Bible in these two languages, and I'm comparing the two. And so here's what I do. I'm going to give you guys two ways to study the Bible in comparing two different languages or potentially more different languages. And the first way is going to be using the parallel view to put them side by side. If we go up here to the top, and we look at our different Bibles that I've got pulled up here, we can go to parallel view, and you can see all these different options right now. Let me zoom out. I've got two Bibles open. I've got my KJV English on the left side, and I've got my Hungarian version on the right side. And so these are modifiable from these drop-down menus. I can change which Bible is in which column, and I can add several more. Looks like I can add up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, apparently. Here, let me just add the Spanish Bible here for you, and now you can see I've got 3 in 3 separate columns paralleled with each other, which is incredibly helpful when you're trying to compare a passage. So if I'm looking at our Matthew 22 passage again, starting in verse 37, I can look at it here. It says, Jesus said unto him, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. And then right over here on the right side, I've got it in Hungarian as well. Jézus pedig mondta neki, szeresd az Urat, a te Istenedet teljes szívedből, teljes lelkedből, és teljes elmédből. And that literally means the same exact thing. Let me say another disclaimer here. I'm someone who uses the King James Version of the Bible in English, and there's a lot of reasons for that. But when you're comparing it with other Bibles in other languages, since it's a TR family manuscript Bible, a Textus Receptus Bible, it works really well when you use other Textus Receptus Bible translations, which the Hungarian Karoli Biblia from 1590 is. And so it's going to line up a lot of the times. Now, you can use the parallel to parallel any Bibles that you have downloaded in eSword. English versions, Hungarian, Spanish, any language, you can compare them. But obviously, there's going to be differences if they come from different sources. I'll leave it at that. So when I am studying my Bible, I'll often have this in parallel so that I can look at the two back and forth and so that I can see them. Now, if I'm copying and pasting things, what I'll do is I'll come up here and I will click on the tab of the Bible that I need, and I will make that one larger so that I can, highlight and copy and paste things easier. Or I'll click on my Hungarian if I want that blown up. Now, I should have said this at the beginning, but let's see if you don't have the Bibles that you want to use. Let's go download some Bibles. So we're going to go to the top of our screen here. We're going to go to download here at the top of your screen, and we're going to click on Bibles. We come down here to our download manager, and you can click on any resource that you want to download. But if we stay with the Bibles tab, we can look at all and they're divided by language. So like these are just the English Bibles here that you can buy, that you can download for free, and then they have premium content as well that will cost you money. But look at all these different languages that they have, guys. I'll go slow, but Albanian, Arabic, Bengali, Bulgarian, Croatian, Chinese. Now, of course, not every single version of the Bible in those languages is available. There's many, many versions of the Bible. But I just want you to see Farsi, Finnish, Greek, German, Haitian, Hebrew, Hindi, Hungarian, several different versions. I mean, so many different. Let's go down here to Spanish. And you've got different Spanish versions down here. You can, I guess the Reina Valera 1960 is a premium that you have to purchase. But you can find the Bibles that you want, and then to download them. Let's just pick one really quick. Let's pick this Japanese Bible. It's free. All you have to do is click on the link of it. It will put it down here in the download bin, and then our little progress bar will tell us how long it takes. Now it's downloaded. If you want that to show up, X out of the Bible manager, and you'll see this window that says Restart eSword to see the new additions. So all you have to do is close out of eSword, bring it back up, and it'll now show up in your tabs up here, and it'll be right there. You won't have to do anything else. So download as many different Bibles, different languages as you want, and then once you are in the parallel feature here, then you can bring up any ones that you want and have as many columns as you want as well. Okay, now, the second thing that I want to show you involves searching words, because that is the main way to study the Bible, is searching words and seeing how God uses those words throughout the Scripture, comparing things spiritual with things spiritual, line upon line, here a little, there a little. And that's how we study the Bible, by studying words. Now, here's the problem when you start studying the Bible in foreign languages. Not all languages work the same. Let me give you an example. The only other language that I know is Hungarian. Hungarian is a really difficult language. Luckily, it uses a Latin-based alphabet, so I don't have that problem. If you are using a Bible like an Arabic Bible or a Chinese Bible, those are available on eSword, by the way, and you can read them, but searching those special characters that aren't a Latin alphabet character might be a little bit difficult, might not work as cleanly, but it does work. Actually, here, I'll show you right now. I actually downloaded an Arabic Bible. I know nothing about this translation, but I downloaded it just to show you. Here it is. and obviously it's, they must read right to left. Sorry, I don't know anything about Arabic. And you can search these. Now I don't have those characters on my keyboard, but if I highlight and do a quick search on the entire Bible, whatever that word is, there's 20 matches, 19 verses, and it brings them all up and it tells me all the stats. So it does do that, and you can do it, but just remember that there might be issues when you're using eSword to do something it wasn't designed to do originally. So with Hungarian, it uses Latin characters, but it's an agglutinative language, which means that the words are conjugated by taking the root word and adding a bajillion suffixes and prefixes to them. And oftentimes that root word will be so completely changed by the time you're done conjugating it that it's not even recognizable, let alone searchable. So like when in English, if you have the word love, you search the word love on eSword and you're going to find every usage of the word love. If you need loved, the past tense, well, the root word is still the same. Now, if you're going to be agglutinative and make the word loving, okay, well, that changes. And so you have the ing on the end and you have to remove the e. But still, the root word is very, very much intact and easily searchable using the different parameters in eSword. But when you have a language like Hungarian, where the words change so much and constantly, and the root word is not often seen just by itself without any additions of suffixes or prefixes, it can be a lot harder. And so this is where studying the Bible in two languages is helpful, because I can study it in English, I can search the words in English, and then I can compare and contrast. But let's go ahead and do some word searches in Hungarian just so I can show you what I do when I'm doing a Bible study. So again, we are in Matthew 22 with the great commandment, love God and love your neighbor, and I've got it in parallel. I'm gonna go. And you'll notice that the search feature is actually grayed out when I'm in parallel. See that? So in order to go back to search, I'm going to have to click on the Bible that I want to search, and then search it. But if I look down here, where it says that Jesus said unto him, "Love the Lord with all your heart, your soul, your mind, and with all your heart, soul, and mind." This verse 37. So the word sieve right here, that's the word for heart. That's the root word. Sived is your heart. Sived bö is from your heart. So it's conjugated a little differently. They don't say with your heart. With your heart would be sived da. Sived bö is from your heart. So teash sived bö is translated literally with from your entire heart. So you can see that sieve is the root word, and sived bö is one word in Hungarian, but actually means from your heart. It's an entire phrase in English. Well, so what if I want to just search the way that God uses the word sieve, the way God uses the word heart in Hungarian? Well, the way that I'm going to do that is one of two ways. I'll click on the search icon here. Make sure that I've got, I'll make it a little bigger. Make sure that I've got my Hungarian Bible if I've got multiple Bibles. Pick the one that you want to search. I'm going to search in sieve that uses a different I character. It's a long E. And then I'll do the entire Bible, and I will hit enter to search. And if I zoom out, we can see we've got 333 matches. But here's the problem. You'll already notice that we've got not just the root word here. This says sive ban, which literally means in his or her heart. And then down here, I've got sivet, which would be the accusative form of a possessive third person, his or her heart as the object of the sentence. And so I've got so many different versions of the word sieve being used, but is that all of the times that the word sieve is used in whatever way it's conjugated? Unfortunately, at least with my language, with Hungarian, eSword gets a little confused, and so I've got a little workaround that you can use. If you go to this drop box right here, we can search for all the words, search for any of the words, search for the exact phrase. These are great in English. Regular expressions, I want you to click on that. What this option does is allows us to search using other like little coding language things. You can put like carets and apostrophes and things to make your searches even more exact and specific. And if you don't know how to do that, you can actually go up here to the help menu. And here, let me show you quick. If go up to the help menu and click on eSword User's Guide, you can actually learn. There's a whole chapter on how to use regular expressions in your search. But if what it does is it basically makes it so it's not searching for words, it's searching for those characters in that order. And so if I search for sieve again, when I searched it the normal way, let's show you again, there was 300 some instances of the word, 333 matches. If I do it with regular expressions where it's just searching for those characters in that order, all of a sudden, whoa, 878 matches. Okay, so now, again, I'm not an expert. I don't know exactly why it does that. All I know is that if I want every version of this word in Hungarian, I got to use regular expressions to find it. Now, if I use the accusative version, which would be szívet, and I search that, it's going to be more exact. I'm going to have 22 matches, and it's only that version of the word. Well, szívet, so that's a little bit different. But yes, that's exactly what I mean, though. It's going to be a little bit finicky, and so I'm just showing you guys what I've learned and come up with to be able to do the study that I need to do. That's how I search a word. If I want to make sure I've got all of it, then I make sure that I click on regular expressions so that I'm getting all of the uses. Now, you might find that you don't have a keyboard or a keyboard downloaded to give you the special characters that you might need. Maybe, maybe you're in America and you speak Spanish, you're learning it, but you don't have a Spanish keyboard. And so you've got different characters in the text that you can't type up. Well, that actually is similar in Hungarian. If I show you this word első, that means first. The little O with the little swoosh over top, sorry, I don't know the name of that. That's actually an old character from a long time ago. We don't use that in present day Hungarian. We use two like dashes, like two long, not umlauts, but two long dashes. And so I don't even have this character on my Hungarian keyboard. And so I can't search it with the updated version of it because it doesn't register in this Bible. So how do I search that word? Well, all I have to do is highlight it, as I alluded to earlier, do a quick search here, highlight it, quick search, entire Bible, and there you go. It's going to search it for me. And then again, regular expressions, every time a form of that word is used that has all four of those characters in it. Now, if that root word changes so it doesn't have all four of those words, it's not going to bring it up, which is very common in Hungarian. But I'm just giving you guys the gist of how you can search something even if you can't type those characters in. Now, another way that I study, and again, this is using two languages to study because I'm comparing the Hungarian with the English, and I already know how to study the English, and so I can do them together, and it's very helpful to find those cross-references. So what I might do is I've got my parallel back up and find something in English and say, okay, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul. Okay, well, let me search and all thy mind. Let's search the word mind. I'll do a quick search this way in English. Sorry, can't do that in parallel. We got to switch back to our English Bible. And we're going to search the word mind, highlight it, and do a quick search for the entire Bible. And now I'm doing this in English, right? I've got 95 matches and 92 verses. Okay, now check this out. What I'm going to do is outside of that window, I've still got the search window up. I'm going to click on parallel. And then what I can do, I'll click on the link. I'll move this out of the way so I can read. Click on Genesis 23:8, and look, it comes up over here without closing this dialog box. So 23:8, and he communed with them, saying, if it be your mind that I should bury my dead out of sight, hear me and entreat for me to Ephron, the son of Zohar. Now I've got the Hungarian right here on the right side of it. Esola velük mondván, ha azt akarjátok, hogy eltemessem. So it's actually used. This is saying this, like, if you will do this, if you would have it this way, if you want it to be this way. And so that way you can search do the English search and then see what word is used, how God translated it in that language. 1 Samuel 9:20, do it again. I'll click on this. It comes up. Here's the English. Now, keep in mind, I don't want to close out. I don't want to X out this dialog box, because if I do that, then I lose my search. So I want to keep this open, and I just want it in the background. Now, of course, I could do the same thing where I keep this open and I go up here and I click on just English or just my Hungarian Bible. And so that's cool because I searched in English, but yet I've got the Hungarian back there. And if I click on one of these, like Isaiah 26:3, it's coming up in Hungarian behind it. So I can utilize this English search while also looking for, so there's the same verse in the other language. So there you go. I hope that was helpful to you. Again, it's not a real tight step-by-step tutorial, because it's something that I'm still continuing to figure out, and that's how I'm doing my word studies and Bible studies in 2 languages at the moment. Hopefully that'll change as I figure out more things that can make it easier. But I hope that's helpful to you. Write in the comments if there's anything that I left out, or if something I didn't make clear, or if you have any other thoughts or questions, or if you know an easier way to do something in a certain language Bible that you study. But for now, thank you guys so much for checking it out. Make sure you follow and like this video. See you next time. God bless.